Today, May 17th, 2026, the world of figure skating stood still as one man stepped onto the ice in Prague with the weight of an entire sport on his shoulders. The question on everyone's mind was simple. Could Ilia Malinin, the self-proclaimed quad god, secure his third consecutive ISU world title and cement his legacy as the greatest technical skater to ever live? The atmosphere inside the O2 Arena was electric, a mix of nervous anticipation and the undeniable feeling that we were about to witness history. For months leading up to this event, the debate had raged across social media and skating rinks worldwide. Critics pointed to his recent struggles with consistency, while fans argued that his technical ceiling was simply too high for anyone else to reach. But as the lights dimmed and the first notes of his music echoed through the rafters, all the talk stopped. It was time for the ice to provide the answers. Ilia Malinin didn't just win today. He redefined what is possible in human athletics. To understand the magnitude of what happened this May afternoon, we have to look at the sheer mountain he had to climb. His primary rival, Yuma Kageyama, had delivered the performance of a lifetime just minutes earlier. Kageyama was flawless, spinning a web of artistry and precision that earned him a massive total score of 306.67. For a moment, it felt like the crown might actually leave American soil. The pressure was suffocating. Most skaters would have played it safe, opting for a clean program over a risky one. But Ilia Malinin isn't most skaters. He knew that to beat Kageyama's artistry, he had to unleash a level of technical difficulty that bordered on the impossible. He opened his program with the jump that changed the sport forever, the quadruple axel. It is a jump so difficult, so dangerous, that for decades it was thought to be a mathematical impossibility. But as Ilia soared into the air, rotating with a speed that blurred the vision, he looked more like a bird than a man. The landing was feather-light, a testament to the thousands of hours of practice and the iron will of a champion. That single jump alone shifted the momentum of the entire event. You could feel the collective gasp of the audience and the frantic scratching of the judges' pens. He followed it up with a series of quadruple combinations that were executed with such clinical precision it felt like we were watching a simulation rather than a live performance. By the time he reached the midpoint of his program, it was clear that Malinin was in a zone of his own. The technical score on the screen was climbing at a rate we have never seen before. But what was truly surprising today wasn't just the jumps, it was the soul. For the first time in his career, Ilia Malinin looked like he was skating with his heart as much as his legs. His transitions were smoother, his edges deeper, and his connection to the music was profound. He was answering his critics in real time, proving that he is more than just a jumping machine. He was a complete artist, painting a masterpiece on the ice of Prague. The climax of the performance came in the final minute. Most skaters are exhausted by this point, their legs heavy and their lungs burning. But Ilia seemed to find a second wind. He launched into a triple Lutz triple toe combination that was as crisp as if it were the first jump of the day. And then he did it. The move that has become his signature of defiance and joy, the backflip. As he landed it and transitioned into his final spin, the arena erupted. It wasn't just applause. It was a standing ovation that started before he even finished his final pose. The quad god had delivered, and the world knew it. When the scores were finally announced, the numbers were staggering. A free skate score of 218.11 and a total of 329.40. He didn't just win the gold medal. He won by a staggering 22.73 points. This wasn't a close contest. It was a statement of absolute dominance. Standing on the top step of the podium today, May 17th, 2026, Malinin looked at the American flag with the realization that he had achieved the rare three-peat. He is now part of an elite club of legends who have successfully defended their world title 3 times in a row. It is a feat that requires not just talent, but a level of mental toughness that is rare in any sport. The implications of today's win for Ilia Malinin are massive. He has effectively ended the debate about who the king of figure skating is in the post-Nathan Chen era. He has pushed the technical boundaries so far that the ISU may actually have to reconsider how they score programs in the future. How do you judge a man who is doing things that the rulebook didn't even anticipate? For the rest of the field, the challenge is now daunting. How do you catch a man who wins by 20 points even when his rivals are skating at their absolute best? As we look ahead to the 2027 season, the target on Malinin's back is massive. Every young skater in Japan, Canada, and Russia will be watching the footage of today's performance in Prague, trying to find a weakness, a gap, or a flaw. But based on what we saw today, those gaps are closing fast. His artistry is catching up to his athleticism, and his mental game is becoming his greatest weapon. He is a once-in-a-generation talent who is still only 21 years old. The scary thought for the rest of the world is that we may not have even seen his peak yet. On this May 17th, we didn't just see a competition, we saw the evolution of a sport. Figure skating has always been a balance between the athletic and the aesthetic, and for a long time, many felt those two things were at odds. Ilia Malinin proved today that you can have both. You can be the most technical skater in history and still move an audience to tears. You can be a quad god and a master storyteller. As the crowds leave the O2 arena and the ice is cleaned for the final time this week, the story of this championship will be told for decades. It will be the day that Ilia Malinin proved that impossible is nothing more than a challenge. What do you think about the scores today? Was 218.112 too high? Or did he deserve even more for the sheer difficulty of that quad axel? And where do you think this one ranks in the history of U.S. figure skating? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because this is a performance that deserves to be discussed from every angle. If you want to stay updated on all the major shifts in the world of sports and see more deep dives into the lives of the world's greatest athletes, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Rick Astley. We are dedicated to bringing you the stories behind the medals and the analysis you won't find anywhere else. Thank you for joining us on this historic day in Prague. I'm the Athlexa Report, and we will see you in the next breakdown.